my new personal best carp. No pre-baiting, fishing European style, produces big fish. What's up, YouTube? Top Tactic Fishing here. Welcome to another episode. We're going to be doing a carp episode for you guys today. We're at a brand new spot, and since we are at a brand new spot, I want to show you how effective the European way of carp fishing, how effective it is. And it's pretty simple. It's a setup that I use when I go carp fishing, so this is going to be more of an educational video if you're new to carp fishing on what is the best way to carp fish, and that is going to be fishing the European style. So I'm going to show you what that is, what that entails of, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so we're going to show you the European style of carp fishing. So as you know, Americans in this country, when it was first really new, I guess, to America, and people still use this technique, is that they would just put corn on a hook or dough balls, bread, just on a hook and toss it out there. That's how they would carp fish for carp, that is. So, which can be effective, yes, but in my opinion, I don't think it's the best way to fish for carp. It's pretty easy technique, so if you're brand new to carp fishing, that is what people typically like to do. But I always find the European way of carp fishing to be the best, most effective, and you can actually catch carp pretty quickly with this style. So, alright, before I get started, I'm going to show you the way that I fish for carp. There's multiple ways to fish for carp the European way. For this video, I'm going to be showing you one of the more easier ways, and that's using the method feeder. But here's what the bait up method feeder looks like. It has two holes on each side, okay? So it acts like an inline sinker, essentially. So you're going to go through one end, you go through the sheath on top here. Okay, you're going to feed it all the way through until your line comes out the other way, the other end there. So it does slide up and down. So once you then put your method feeder through, you're then going to want to use a hair rig. Now, if you're brand new to carp fishing, you may not know what a hair rig is. Essentially, it's a hook with a piece of line sticking out from the hook, and this is essentially what your bait's going to go onto, which I'll explain here. There's a swivel on top down to a braided line down to your hook. So you're essentially just going to tie a hair rig onto your line. Any kind of hair rigs, really, just as long as you have some kind of hair rig. Alright, the size I recommend is number 6. When you're fishing for carp, you can also use a 4 or an 8. The safe zone is 4 through 8 for carp fishing, in my opinion. Okay, and the nice thing is the swivel can actually tug right up into this method feeder here, help protect the knot and kind of keep it stable, so then the method feeder doesn't even move anymore. So this is the rig that I use when I fish for carp. Pretty easy, pretty easy to set up. All right, so now you're down to, you know, what is your hook bait. This is the bait that goes onto the hair, essentially. So people like to use corn, there's boilies, there's tiger nuts, pop-up boilies, where you can do a combination of things. But just to keep it simple for demonstration purposes, we're just going to be showing you how to put corn. And this is going to be linear bait, has flavored corns, very effective, will get you carp. Okay, nice bait to use. And this is juicy pear, which is a well-known flavor in the company and to many carp anglers here. And you need a baiting needle because you have to get your bait onto this hair, essentially. So it can be a little tricky, but you're essentially going to put your bait needle through the bottom of the corn, essentially. Okay. You're essentially just going to feed it through There's a little loop on the end here, so you can help on the hair, that is. See how I'm kind of catching it here? There's a little groove on the bait needler. It can catch your hair rig essentially, and you're just going to kind of keep that in place and then just move your corn onto there just like that. Okay. Corn can be a little bit tricky because it can easily fall apart, which happens, but I usually like putting 2 or 3 pieces on there. You have something called a hair stop, okay, that you put onto the hair too to help keep the bait in place. It's a little plastic, you know, bead, I guess you could say, or this is what they look like. And then I just go to one of the stops there, and I just rip it on the end there. Okay. All right, that's it. This is essentially how you do it. 3 pieces of corn, like I said, you can use 2. Okay, and that's it. And there's the little plastic stop there to kind of keep the corn in place. Then we have something called pack bait, which I talked about earlier. This is the bait that goes around the method feeder that creates a chum. And I do have a link in the description above here of how to make pack bait. Okay. So you're just going to take a handful and you're essentially just going to kind of mold it around there. Just going to punch it through. Kind of fold it over. And that is pretty much it. You can cover the whole method feeder up if you want. You don't have to. It's essentially what it looks like. And then to keep the hook from dangling like that, I like to kind of put the hook right on top of the pack bait. So when this pack bait is essentially going to break up in the water, and then your hook will then come out, and then just kind of it'll lay in the middle of the chum of this pack bait. All right, so same setup I did with the first rod. We're gonna be putting a boilie on this one. I'm using this is a 3.5 ounce method feeder. There's different sizes. You can go from 1/2 ounce all the way up to like 6 ounces. So like I said, it can be used as a bank sinker as well. Okay, we're gonna be using this banana nut boilie. This is what a boilie looks like. Alright, all the rods are out. For that last rod I used a 1 piece of tiger nut popped up on a single piece of fake maize. So we're going to give it some time and hopefully we can get a carp. Stay tuned. Decent one on here. Jesus Louise. Whew. This is a big one. Barely even pull them. This one for sure. decent one. Want to see him. This one was peeling off my line pretty good. This one was definitely screaming. Oh, this looks big. This looks big. Oh yeah. Oh shoot, did you see it? That's a big one. This is a 30 plus. This is a 30 plus. Oh, this is a giant. Holy moly. This rod tip up. Oh shoot. Can you give me a hand for a second? Yeah. I got a big fish on, just need help, someone to help land it.
Yeah.
Have you ever landed a fish before?
No, not really.
Okay. Sorry, he's just bringing me all over the place. The net's right behind you there. Can you see him there? Yeah, it's a big one. I'm gonna try to bring him close to the bank if you wouldn't mind just trying to get the net in the water. Alright, hold on, hold on. Oh, can you? Oh. Hold on, this is gonna break. There we go. All right, guys. 32-pound carp.
Is he 32?
Yep. 32 pounds. Look at that one. Still
I would
breathing.
just throw him over. It would be fine.
My new personal best carp. No pre-baiting, fishing European style. Produces big fish.
Yeah.
Release this one. As you can see, European carp fishing, the best way to fish for carp. Like I said, new to the spot. For carp fishing, that is. Do a lot of flathead fishing in this area, but not so much for carp. And you can see, water is murky. Okay, so even in not the best conditions, we still caught our personal best carp. So, yeah, so it was really great. I appreciate watching this video. I do a lot of carp videos. Give a thumbs up, like, subscribe if you haven't, and definitely try this method of carp fishing if you haven't done it before. Best way to carp fish. See you next time on Top Tackle Fishing. Peace.